In the quiet expanse of eternity, before kingdoms rise or empires fall, a single scroll rests in the hand of the Almighty, sealed 7 times over. No light slips through its edges. No human hand has ever touched it. And yet, everything that has ever lived, every breath ever taken, every hidden movement of history depends on what lies written inside. John stands before the throne, trembling, the air thick with a holy stillness. Thunder coils in the distance like an ancient heartbeat. Angels hold their breath. The universe feels suspended, waiting for something, someone, to step forward. But no one does. Not in heaven. Not on earth. Not under the earth. For a moment, the story of humanity hangs on a thread of silence. And John weeps, not because the seals are frightening, and because without them being opened, God's plan remains locked away. Justice would not come. History would not be completed. Redemption would not reach its final dawn. And then, a voice breaks the despair. Do not weep. From between the elders emerges a figure, the Lion of Judah, the Lamb who was slain. And when he takes the scroll, heaven erupts in a sound like creation waking up again. The 7 seals tremble. What unfolds next is not chaos for chaos's sake, nor punishment without purpose, but the unveiling of God's plan to bring the world to its true and final restoration. The book of Revelation is not merely prophecy, it is vision. A vision unlike any given before or since. And the 7 seals, the first great movement of that vision, act as the divine unsealing of history itself. They open not in the hands of fate, or chance, or human rulers wielding temporary power. They open only beneath the authority of the Lamb. John watches as the first seal breaks, and it's as if the boundary between the seen and the unseen tears open. A white horse charges forth, not with chaos, but with purpose. The rider carries a bow, crowned as one who conquers. This is not random violence. It is conquest permitted under heaven's watch, showing humanity's persistent hunger for power. The world has always trembled under the ambitions of rulers, armies, and empires. And perhaps this is where our own hidden fears begin, when we wonder who truly holds control over the forces that shape our lives. The second seal brings a red horse, blazing like war itself. Peace is taken from the earth. Not given, taken. A reminder of how fragile harmony truly is, how quickly nations turn to conflict, how easily anger can ignite into bloodshed. But this is more than history repeating itself. This is Revelation pulling back the curtain, showing what humanity becomes when it refuses the ways of God. Competitive, restless, eager to dominate. Yet even here, something strange happens. Amid the thunder of hooves and the roar of conflict, the seals do not speak of chaos overwhelming God's plan. They show chaos being contained by it. The third seal opens. A black horse emerges. This rider holds scales in his hand. A voice echoes, ration grain, measured oil, careful limits. Scarcity, economic fragility, humanity's endless struggle with inequality. And still, even in judgment, there is restraint. Do not harm the oil and wine. There is boundary, control, mercy woven into warning. The fourth seal yields the pale horse, ashen, ghostly. Death rides upon it, and Hades follows closely. This is not new to the world. Death has walked beside us since Eden. But here death rides as one permitted to reveal the full weight of human brokenness. And perhaps, as we watch these riders, we recognize our own age mirrored within them. The fears that follow headlines, the anxieties that settle into nations, the quiet vulnerability that every person carries. The seals are not arbitrary disasters. They are the unveiling of what happens when humanity's choices are exposed under divine light. When rebellion meets reality. When the world tries to rule itself apart from God. The fifth seal opens differently, not with a horse, but with voices. The souls of the faithful, those who endured suffering for righteousness, cry out beneath the altar. How long, O Lord? Their cry is not vengeance. It is longing. Longing for justice, for restoration, for wrongs to be made right. They are given white robes and told to rest a little longer. God hears. God knows. God remembers. But God is not finished yet. And then the sixth seal cracks open. And the cosmos itself responds. The sun darkens. The moon turns like blood. The stars fall. The earth shakes. Not as random celestial terror, but as creation groaning beneath the weight of divine disclosure. Every mountain moves. Every island shifts. And the mighty of the world, kings, generals, the wealthy, the powerful, hide in caves, begging for the rocks to fall upon them. Not out of disbelief, but out of recognition. The Lamb they ignored now stands revealed. And yet, even in this overwhelming moment, something tender happens. Before the seventh seal opens, God pauses the vision. Angels seal the servants of God on their foreheads, a sign of belonging, protection, identity. Before judgment intensifies, mercy marks those who are His. It is as if God says, in the unraveling of the world, none who belong to me will be lost. And perhaps, in that quiet act of sealing, we find our own hope. That God sees us, claims us, marks us as His even when the world trembles. The seventh seal does not explode with thunder. It opens with silence. A full half hour of it. A silence so deep it feels alive. The pause before the final movement. Heaven holding its breath as God prepares to respond to the prayers of His people. This is the true heart of the seals. God hearing the cries of the faithful and moving history toward justice. But as the silence settles, something shifts. 7 angels are given 7 trumpets. A new progression of judgments stands ready. And another angel steps forward, carrying a golden censer. He fills it with incense, representing the prayers of the saints, and presents it before the throne. Only then does he cast the censer to the earth. Lightning, thunder, earthquake. Here lies the profound tension of Revelation. Humanity's rebellion is real, but so is God's mercy. The seals do not show random events. They reveal the consequences of a world resisting its creator, and the tender insistence of a God who refuses to abandon it. As the seals unfold, a spiritual conflict emerges not merely between nations or armies, but between the human heart and the call of the Lamb. Some resist, some hide, some cling to hope, some cry out for justice. Pattern breaks emerge in Revelation's rhythm, gentle, surprising shifts that pull the reader deeper into the vision. The sudden focus on the martyrs, the sealing of God's faithful, the cosmic shaking that interrupts the earthly scenes, the silence of the seventh seal that reverses all expectations. These interruptions remind us that God's timeline is not linear. His justice is not human justice. His patience is not weakness. It is love extended with divine depth. And yet, the seals remind us, history is moving, not cyclically, not aimlessly, but toward a divinely guided restoration. The riders show the world's brokenness. The martyrs show heaven's compassion. The cosmic signs show God's sovereignty. The sealing shows His mercy. The seals intensify not because God delights in suffering, but because God refuses to leave evil unchallenged or injustice unresolved. Humanity's rebellion produces consequences, but God's redemption produces hope. Perhaps we begin to see ourselves in this unfolding. Times when life has felt like the red horse rode too close, when scarcity echoed the black horse, when injustice made us echo the cry, "How long?" when fear felt like the trembling of the sixth seal. Yet the seventh seal whispers something profound. God hears every prayer. Not one goes unanswered. The story that seems in human hands is, and has always been, in His. The climactic truth of the 7 seals is not destruction. It is unveiling. The Lamb does not open the seals to devastate creation, but to reveal what has been hidden, restrained, but misunderstood. And as each seal breaks, a clearer image of God's justice emerges. The 4 horsemen reveal humanity's self-inflicted wounds. The martyrs reveal heaven's faithfulness. The cosmic events reveal creation's readiness for renewal. The sealing reveals God's personal care for His people. But the climax truly resides in the seventh seal, because it is the hinge between human history and divine intervention. As the silence breaks and the prayers of the saints rise like incense, Revelation shifts from unveiling the world's condition to unveiling God's response. This is where the Lamb's authority becomes undeniable. Only He can open the seals. Only He can guide history through judgment and into restoration. Only He can reveal the hidden meaning of everything. The seven seals, then, are not simply judgments. They are the divine declaration that the world's suffering will not continue forever. That injustice has an expiration date. That sin will not hold dominion without end. And perhaps this is the deepest revelation. The seals do not show a world out of God's control. They show a God who is bringing all things under His righteous rule. As the final seal gives way to silence and the prayers of God's people ascend before the throne, the narrative softens. The thunder pauses. The shaking stills. And Revelation reveals the heart behind the imagery. God sees. God knows. God remembers. God restores. The seals are not meant to terrify the faithful but to assure them. Nothing in history escapes the Lamb's authority. The white horse shows God knows the ambitions of nations. The red horse shows He understands the pain of war. The black horse shows He sees injustice and scarcity. The pale horse shows He stands sovereign even over death. The cry of the martyrs shows He hears the suffering of His people. The cosmic trembling shows He attends to creation's groaning. The sealing shows He guards His own. The silence shows He reverently receives every prayer. And in all of it, the Lamb remains central. Not the horsemen, not the shaking world, not the cries of the powerful. The Lamb, the one who was slain yet stands. The one who alone is worthy. The one who holds the scroll of history. And perhaps this is the true message of the seven seals. That God's plan is not chaos, it is completion. Not fear, it is faithfulness. Not despair, it is hope. In the trembling between heaven and earth, the Lamb leads history toward redemption. When the seven seals open, they do not point us toward fear, but toward the one who holds the story together. The horsemen ride, the martyrs cry out, the stars fall, the earth trembles, and yet the Lamb remains sovereign over every moment. The seals invite us to trust the God who guides history, who hears every prayer, who marks His people as His own, and who brings justice with perfect wisdom. In a world that often feels unsealed and uncertain, the vision of Revelation reminds us of the deeper truth. Nothing moves without passing through the hands of the Lamb. And maybe that is the peace we need most. The peace that whispers, "You are seen. You are known. You are held." And the story God began, He will faithfully bring to its final, glorious completion.